With the recent news of Finland's plan to adopt 5.56 NATO calibre assault rifles from Sako, we thought it might be fun to take a look at the weapon being replaced, the legendary RK62 series of rifles. For over 60 years, the Runna Kokovari 62, or Assault Rifle 62, has been the backbone of Finnish defence. It is a symbol of Finnish engineering born from a unique geopolitical necessity with an emphasis on reliability. Made by the Finnish companies Valmet and Sako, 350,000 plus RK62s have been produced, which are gas-operated rotating bolt firearms capable of semi-automatic or full automatic fire. Unlike the stamped receiver common in the Soviet AKM, the RK62 utilized a heavy milled receiver closer to the older AK variant referred to by some experts as Type 3. This choice made the rifle incredibly rugged, with an unloaded weight of approximately 3.5 kilograms compared to the AKM's roughly 3.1 kilograms. The rifle's weight provided a stable platform that contributed to its reputation as one of the most accurate AK pattern rifles in service, often achieving 2 to 3 MOAs or minute of angle or better with iron sights. Finns would also later experiment with the stamped receiver RK71, but after testing decided to stick with the more rugged milled RK62, even at the higher production cost. Given Finland's climate, the RK62 was designed with harsh environments in mind. When it comes to logistics, by chambering the rifle in 7.62 by 39mm, Finland ensured its supply chain was quote-unquote enemy-compatible, allowing troops to utilize captured ammunition if necessary, with standard 30-round magazines interchangeable with most AK variants. This was an early mindset. After 1974, that part of doctrine became less relevant, since Soviets switched their weapons to 5.45 by 39mm. For the rifle's sights, the RK62 moved away from the traditional AK tangent leaf sights, placing a rear aperture or peep sight on the back of the receiver cover. This lengthened the sight radius to 470mm versus the AK's 378 or so millimeters, allowing for much better accuracy at distance. Main production models also featured flip-up tritium-illuminated night sights on both front and rear, a self-powered low-light capability absent in standard AKs. As for performance in extreme environments, every part was built to be operated with thick winter gloves in the form of oversized controls. Even the flash hider was unique, featuring a 3-prong open-ended design that doubles as a wire cutter for barbed wire by wedging the wire in the prongs and firing around. The RK62 was so well engineered that it served as a basis for the Israeli IMI Galil. The Israelis prized the Finnish rifle's reliability in harsh conditions, adapting the design, including the milled receiver and improved sights, while scaling to 5.56 by 45mm as well as 7.62 by 51mm NATO in the ARM variant. This lineage continued with the South African Vector R4. With these adaptations in mind, it is a rare feat for a relatively small nation's service rifle to influence several other militaries across the globe. Ask any Finnish conscript, reservist, or active duty soldier, and most will speak of the RK62 with a mix of respect and affection. After all, it's reliably tough and soldier-proof. At the same time, it wasn't perfect. Early models featured a tubular metal stock that posed a freezing hazard in extreme cold, a problem later mitigated with added insulation. Furthermore, compared to modern aluminium and polymer rifles, the RK62 is heavy and has dated ergonomics, particularly the Kalashnikov-style fire selector/dust cover. The rifle saw major midlife upgrade under the RK62M program, which was initiated in 2015, with modernized rifles fielded in 2019. The list you see here, as provided by the Finnish Defence Forces, is a good summary of the 3 variants developed. As you can see, the RK62M acquired an adjustable stock, a new fire selector, an optical sight mount, and a tactical sling. In addition, the M2 and M3 versions featured a new 4-end handguard and a flash suppressor. The M1 and M2 both feature Picatinny/M-LOK rail mounts for optics and general accessories. Of the two, the M1 is the most common as it's designed for first-line dismounted troops. The M2 is meant for combat in built-up areas. A breech muzzle brake could be attached to the new flash suppressor, allowing for braking, for instance, concrete steel by firing. Moreover, the fore-end handguard carries rails that enable mounting accessories as applicable. As you can see in the image here, the M3 is similar to the M2, but features a coating in green and is equipped with a silencer and a breech muzzle brake. After modernization, these are the facts and figures listed by the Finnish Defence Forces. Length, 95 cm when stock fully extended, or 86.5 cm with stock fully collapsed. Weight without magazine, 4.1 kilograms. A magazine fully loaded with 30 rounds adds 0.8 kilograms. Rate of fire, semi-automatic, is between 20 to 30 aimed shots per minute. Rate of fire, full automatic, is a theoretical 700 rounds per minute. However, including magazine changes, it's closer to 120 to 180 rounds per minute. The rifle has a muzzle velocity of around 715 meters per second and an effective range of about 300 to 400 meters. Despite the rifle's upgrades over the years, the fact that it has been out of production for over 30 years means that Finland needs to replace the weapon, which has been standard issue for decades. Finland's accession to NATO highlights the platform's final limitation: it is not STANAG compatible. Thus, as Finland aligns with its allies to ensure better interoperability and security of ammunition supply, the slow transition to a 5.56 by 45mm NATO rifle means a slow end to the 7.62 Valmet era, as a new rifle in 5.56 caliber will take its place. We do have a full video covering the Finnish Defence Forces' explanation for its transition to NATO standard calibers, so do check it out after this if you haven't yet seen it. Many will agree that the RK62 is a milled masterpiece built for uncompromising toughness. It has forged a legacy of reliability in the harshest conditions, even with the limitations of its era. Let's hope its 5.56mm replacement will develop the same solid reputation when it enters service around the 2030s. But if you've used the weapon, what are your thoughts about the RK62? Let us know by leaving a comment.